Hello and welcome to another video. In this one we're going to be talking about Git and the intent to add option to Git add. It's a bit of a strange one. I'm going to show you what it gets used for, and we're going to talk about how it gets implemented because it's kind of a hack. Anyway, let's jump into it. Okay, so first we need a Git repository. I'm just going to clone the one we always use for these videos, which is ASDPretty. And we are going to create a few files in here. So let's just make a file called hello, which just says hello, hello world, something simple like this. And I can use Git's intent to add option, git add -- intent to add, to add this file, but it's added in a very special way. If we look at Git status here, you'll see that it's mentioned here as new file, whereas before we did this, it will show as an untracked file. So it's different than being added normally, which will show as a staged file, a change to be committed. It's kind of in this third weird state. Changes not staged for commit. So let's reset that again. And intent to add this. So this is sort of in a bit of a limbo state. It's basically telling Git, hey, notice that this file is actually a thing. It's not an untracked file. It's not just a random file. It's something that I intend to add at some point. Now, the side effect of this is if you use git diff, you'll be able to see the diff of this file, even though it's not technically added to the index yet. So this allows you to look at diffs for stuff that's been changed, as well as things that you're adding brand new. The other thing that this does is if you use git commit -a, -a is short for, I think, --all, commit the thing. What -a or -all, is it -all? It is -all. What -all does is any unstaged changes will be added as the commit is created. So you don't have to do a second git add step. So for instance, if I modified the readme to put nonsense in here, blah, 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 and then did git commit -a. What -a is going to do is it's going to stage the unstaged changes and then commit those. And so intent to add kind of plays pretty nicely with this -all. But anyway, those are the two uses for it. You can diff newly created files, and you can use git commit -a to automatically commit those new files. Whereas if they were untracked, they would just get ignored. Now, I also wanted to talk a little bit about how intent to add actually works. And I've been recently researching this because I'm trying to understand the low-level parts of how intent to add works. And there's kind of two parts to it. The first is it puts an empty file into the staging index. And so if you were able to inspect, and I don't have the tools to do it, but if you were, let's see, touch or git add intent to add f, oops. If I was able to inspect the contents of this git/index file here, there would be a single entry which had a zeroed stat, so no m time, no a time, etc., a 0 length, so it's an empty file, and it would be named f. So that is what it is added to the index, and it is tracking that empty 0 state file. It also has a special bit that marks it as intent to add. That way Git can internally differentiate this special empty file from an actual empty file. However, one of the bugs I've found in Git is Git does not actually treat empty files and intent to add empty files differently. So there's some weirdness that happens there that I think in practice nobody actually hits this, so no one's ever going to bother fixing it, but it's one of the weird things that I found while debugging intent to add. But anyway, yeah, that's how it gets implemented. Special empty file, little magical bit, and then it gets treated as just a staged file otherwise. Hopefully you found this useful. If there are additional things you would like me to explain, leave a comment below or reach out to me on the various platforms. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.